And we are live. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to Dan-A-Plooza. We are now at our last guest for the evening. It is a returning guest, actress and macabre moon model, Layla Paige. Welcome back to the show, Layla.
Hello, I'm super excited to be back.
We are glad to have you back. Um, for those watching and future watching, we have a little something here. Layla was recently on the cover of the Mod Squad magazine. For those who are interested,
Oh,
uh,
it's it was called Retro Lovely. Mod Squad is the theme name.
ah, I stand corrected. Yeah, Mod Squad is the theme name. But for those who are interested, where can they pick up this lovely magazine of yourself on the cover?
so, the website you can go on. How I usually look it up is MagCloud, and then I just
Okay.
type in Layla Page after, and then it should pop up. Or you can go on do the longer version and go on the Retro Lovely website and do it that way. But either way, Mod Squad or MagCloud, and then Layla Page, and that should pop up.
There you go. And uh, people should definitely take a look at that. I know that I've looked at it, and there is not only you are on the cover, but you also have pictures with inside is the magazine as well as other models. So it definitely is a good visual representation of many beautiful, amazing models. I feel like
And
so.
my first cover issue, so that was the
There you
milestone.
go. Got to celebrate that.
Yeah.
So go ahead and order that if you can. And if you ever see Layla at a convention or anything, I'm sure she'll be happy to sign it for you. So,
Absolutely.
yep. So, um, have you done any other recent projects lately?
So Drew and I actually just had a photo shoot down on South Side yesterday. Can't
Awesome.
tell you a secret location because we want to surprise you. We just had one of those. I just did a music video back in, I believe it was May.
Yeah.
Or it might have been late April, early May. It's a homie of mine. His name is Foster, but his rap name is Grimshy. It was for the music video Shut Up. We did it down in Pittsburgh. We went to the casino. We got some views of the city and stuff. Got to drive a slingshot. That was fun.
Awesome.
hmm His birthday is today, so I guess that's what I'm trying to promote today.
Yeah.
His birthday is today, so
Happy birthday.
I'm trying to get people to watch his video, get his views up for his birthday. So
Okay.
if I'm promoting anything, it's that. But it's
Okay.
on my Facebook
And we'll
and my
share that
Instagram.
in the Dan-A-Plooza Facebook page.
Heck.
So, so you've had that. Is there any acting roles or things that you're looking for?
Another thing that Drew and I did together, like we do a lot of stuff together. There's this. I can't remember what the director's name. I'm sure she's watching and she's probably screaming at me, telling me it's what is that? That it's one of those psycho thriller movies. I think his name was like Jordan Peele or something like that.
Okay.
That Get Out
This is
movie.
us.
That's what it's called. The Get Out movie. Do you remember
Oh,
that?
Get Out. Yes.
The director, he was looking for extras, and like it was a paid extra job. They're filming a horror movie in Pittsburgh. So we were
Awesome.
trying to dabble in that. I guess we're horrible at checking our emails because that's how they get in contact with us. So,
Yeah.
but I'm trying to get into more acting or music videos for sure.
um, with the last guest that I talked to, I know that he is maybe doing a film down here in West Virginia in September
Yeah.
in Buchanan, and it's going to be a horror thing. I think it's like Manic Mountain.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that opportunity, and then there's also Mark Byrne. He has Absurd Productions, and he films in the PA area as well. So
I have to keep that in mind for sure.
yeah, so there's chances to network and to grow.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely like to get in movies. I remember the last time we talked, I'm like, my goal was to actually like, get into like I don't want to say big, but higher up than like the movies that I've been in, that I want to do like horror movies, or I'd like to be like the bad guy and stuff, because like I definitely feel like I would fit that role pretty well.
Exactly. Well, we share that, because that's how I see myself. I see myself in horror movies as a villain or a sidekick, or
Yeah,
someone who's kooky and just not right.
for sure.
So I definitely like more of those roles than being the straight laced.
Yeah, like I remember. Have you watched WWE Evil on Peacock yet?
No, I've heard of it. I haven't watched it yet.
You need to. So they talk about like they'll talk about like each like heel in the WWE, and like how they became heels, how they became bad guys. And there's one that talks about Roman Reigns, and like I love Paul Heyman. Like I think he is a god on the mic.
Yes.
He like I remember he said something like he's like talking about bad guys, and he said bad guys are always remembered.
Right.
He's like, do you remember the good guys? He's like, because I don't.
Exactly. I just watched him do a panel online, and some guy was trying to heckle him, and he completely owned that guy, because his question was, when has Brock Lesnar ever lost to one finishing move? And he's like, the answer, never, and he's like, how do we shock people? Oh, did he beat the Undertaker? Oh, nobody expected that. That's what you do when you shock people. And like, he went there, and finally someone took his microphone, because he just kept asking the same question, same ways.
Like he'll start wilding if he's like on the mic too long.
Yeah. He'd be like, is someone heckling me tonight?
He's like, whose ego am I gonna crush today?
Pretty much. But I do love his panels, because sometimes though he'll say, like, I forget what other question he was asking, but he's like, people are gonna think in their mind, is Paul Heyman telling us something that we don't already know, or is he shooting with us? A
little, you never know though.
He talked about I don't know if you remember the Survivor series with the WCW, ECW versus WWF in 2001.
It kind of rings a bell, but I don't remember exactly.
Basically, he gave a promo, and he ripped Vince apart for like 10 minutes. And he talked about him getting rid of all these promoters, and how his kids didn't like him, and how he took over after his father passed away, and he just like ripped him to shreds. And like he was like nervous, like he's like asking Vince, do you even know what I'm gonna say? And he's like, it will draw me money. He's like, yeah. Then go ahead, it's the go home show, Paul. And he's like, so when the payment came in, he's like, he made a lot of money, but Paul Heyman, he didn't get that. He goes, well, you got your payday because you said all that stuff to me. So
yeah, no, he's great. Listen, like, he's like God on the mic.
I definitely enjoy him, and there's a lot of different heels. I always liked Boogeyman.
Heels have always been my favorite, because like, how badass it is to be a bad guy, and just no rules, you just do whatever you want.
Yeah. Boogeyman, I'm trying to think. Undertaker, because he was a
heel for a long time, but he was the heel that everyone loved, because like that's how like I'm a huge Randy Orton fan.
There you go.
But like when I was younger, I used to love to hate Randy Orton. But as I grew older, I'm like, Randy Orton's the shit. Like, he just walks and talks like he does not care.
I think it's about Randy Orton. His wife was in the audience when they
met. Yeah. That's like, how romantic. She's like, holla. She's like, you're cute. Come here.
I know. Maybe she's like this with the pose, waiting for each other.
Literally, I've been tempted, like, because like and you've also seen, I am obsessed with Rhea Ripley,
There
I'm
you
like,
go.
you know what? I'm like, I have the perfect idea. I'm like, I'm gonna spend an arm and a leg on these tickets, and I'm gonna get a sign. I'm gonna be like, "Marry me, Rhea." Have a ring, so she can't tell me no. Be like, I already bought it for you. You can't tell me no.
Do you like the current Judgment Day stable? Do
Oh
you
yeah,
think
it's so
it's
good.
better without Edge?
I think I preferred it with Edge, but I
Yeah.
really like Finn Balor too. I've always liked Finn Balor, so I'm like, yeah, I preferred it. I'm like, but this works.
So I think what's going to happen is you've seen the promos lately with the fire and
Yeah, Edge is trying to
Edge
come
coming
back and
back.
stuff. I seen the video for that on Instagram, and somebody's like, I know it's Edge, but it makes me think of the Fiend, and that's what I thought too. Like
Yeah.
the first first time I saw it, I'm like, that's definitely the Fiend. But I watched it a couple more times. I'm like, that's Edge. I'm like, he's coming back. But
Someone was,
I've always been an Edge head though, so like he's always been in
yes.
like my top 3 like favorite wrestlers like of all time.
They said, bring back the Brood. And I'm like, no, we can't.
But I'm sorry, his theme music Metalingus by Alter Bridge was, I guess he hated that song. That song
Yeah,
is so good.
I know. Just like Randy Orton hated his song "Burning My Light."
He hated that song, so I guess I looked it up. He hated it because he said it sounded like doing drugs.
Yeah, it was a good song because it was like his time to move to the spotlight. That's how I always.
Even as a young buck, he was still like he was gonna be a star.
he was definitely better. Do you remember when he was injured and he gave like an update like about his arm and everything, and he'd
Yeah,
say
I do remember that.
70%, mobility.
Yeah.
And,
No, I do remember that.
yeah, I can't believe like that was like when he first came into what he was now.
Yeah, like he's grown throughout the years. Like it's incredible.
Definitely. Oh man, I loved it with him and Cowboy Bob Orton when he had his dad with him.
He's almost better than his dad.
Oh, definitely.
Like he's better than his dad. He gives his pops a run for his money.
he, but he's definitely surpassed his dad. And I definitely feel like he'll probably go higher up. Not to say that his dad didn't do good stuff, because I liked him and Roddy Piper together, but it's just his dad was never able to get really much of a push as far as Randy's getting all these pushes.
I want him to break Ric Flair's record, but with the whole rumor that John Cena might come back, I don't think it's gonna happen.
Oh, well, Ric Flair's retiring. He's got his retirement match, so.
Because I guess Rick is a 16-time champion. I guess that's the beef right now. There, everybody's like, is it gonna be Randy Orton? Is it gonna be John Cena? It's probably gonna be John Cena because he was the poster child for WWE. But I want it to be Randy Orton.
Well, it's too bad Randy Orton doesn't have the money in the briefcase, because John could win it and then he could win it, and just.
And he's also out to an injury anyways.
Yeah. So yeah, it's wishful, but I think that would be hilarious.
Yeah.
So is there a this is kind of like a fantasy question. If there was anybody that you could ever manage or walk to the ring with in WWE, who would you pick?
I say besides the obvious question, Rhea Ripley, I'd have to say AJ Styles.
There. Yeah.
Honestly, AJ Styles he's also like in my top 3 current favorite wrestlers for sure.
I would I think I would do this just for fun. I would do Riddle. I would manage Riddle, and I feel like I would come out on the scooter.
Yeah, Drew loves him.
I definitely, and I remember when they were putting them together, and people didn't think it was going to work, but
they work very well together. Like they're a trip.
I just love, hey Randy.
They're a trip.
They really are. They really do. I like to call them like wrestling's odd couple.
And like those are always the ones that work too.
Exactly. Did you think that Riddle was going to win the title a couple weeks ago? Do you think it was always going to be Roman?
I think he was definitely very close. He
He
was very
was.
close. I wanted him to win the Money in the Bank ladder match so bad.
Oh my goodness. So how did you feel when Theory won it?
It was expected.
Yeah.
I saw it coming.
It's just like it seems rather too quickly to me, but they've had other people, but it's just it's hard to take it because he lost to Bobby Lashley that night and then he wins
Like that, and like that was expected too. Like, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Like I know it's like all like it's predetermined and everything,
Yeah.
but like come
Safe.
on now.
Yeah.
Because like I said before, like I've like obviously I'm no professional wrestler, but I've been thrown in the ring a few times, and it's obviously not easy. Like I've got
No.
my ass handed to me before. So I remember like my first wrestling training, the mat was hard as a rock, like,
Yep.
and I had to have done like at least 200 bumps that day, and
Wow.
my back was all bruised up my arms.
Ouch.
My second time training, this was like before like my body got used to it. I'm pretty short, so whenever I was running back, like back and forth, like along the ropes,
Mhm.
my butt hit the second rope like
Oh,
every time, and I
right.
had a bruise literally the size of a baseball, like on my
Oh my
butt.
goodness. Ouch. It would be hard to sit for a week or
Oh yeah, a little bit. Sorry, we had a little bit of company.
Okay, that's fine. But
Sorry, podcast.
it's all good. So is there any other magazines that you would ever like to be on the cover of?
Shits and giggles. I did go out for the Maxim like cover thing that they were doing. It was like some Paris. I guess if you won, it was like $50,000, and
Oh
then
yeah.
like a trip to Paris, and then you got a photo shoot there. Literally shits and giggles. I knew I wasn't gonna win, but you know, it's always worth a try.
Exactly. You never know if you don't try.
Absolutely, because like I was telling you earlier, I totally understand with like newer models like being afraid to like put themselves out there or getting in contact with
Right.
people because they're like, oh, like I'm afraid my stuff isn't good enough, or like does this person even want to work with me, or do they even find me attractive? Because like that's definitely a thing too. Like it's not to be in a weird way. You definitely want your photographer to find you attractive. I feel like that's definitely an important thing with modeling. It's
So
it's like, do I look good? Like, does my outfit look good? Do I look pretty
okay.
today? Like, those are important.
Okay. Yeah. Um, so do you have a favorite shoot that you've done so far?
Definitely my most recent one that I did. I did a car wash photo shoot. That was
Okay.
definitely really good. I obviously haven't put out all the pictures for that one, but there's some really good shots that I put out that I'm a big fan of.
Definitely. I think of car wash song like
Same. Working at the car.
car wash.
No, same for sure.
Exactly. So kind of like another fantasy question. If because sometimes in horror movies, you know, their characters come to their death or demise or anything like that. Is there any kind of scene that you could do that you could see for like a character? Like if your character had to like be killed off in the film, is there a certain way you would want it to play out?
I would at least hope I made it to the end. Like I always make the joke. It's like a dark morbid joke, I guess. I said, I'm like, if anybody ever put a gun to my head, I'm like, I'd literally just be like, oh, thank God. Literally just to psych them out and see what they would do. So like if I like, got like shanked or like stabbed at like the end and like it killed me, I'd be like, oh, thank God.
And then credits.
But like I was getting tired. Like finally, like my part is over.
At last.
Or if I got kidnapped, I'd probably just annoy the hell out of the kidnapper. I'm like, oh, finally, we're going on a road trip. Be like, what are we playing? Do I get the aux cord?
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Like, hopefully they would just be like, we're dropping her off somewhere. We're giving her back.
This did not go as planned.
Literally, that's my plan is if I ever get kidnapped, I'm literally just going to act crazy or weird as hell. Maybe they'll just, like I said, maybe they'll just give me back.
There you go. For me, that question, as far as in film, I think it would be funny to do like in Jason Takes Manhattan, where he knocks the guy's head off and the head just goes
Yes.
like a soccer ball.
That would be great.
I feel like that would be really funny. And then there'd be some cheesy head joke, and then my corpse just fall over.
Yeah, I can see that.
So that's definitely the way that I would want my character to go in a film. Do you have a favorite Jason movie?
Honestly, I can't really pick a favorite. Like I typically just like all the Jason or the Freddy versus Jason movies. Personally, like I know it's like more of like people aren't usually like a big fan of like the newer or the modern day like horror movies or whenever they like reenact them and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Friday the 13th. It's newer. It was in like the 2000s. It has Daniel Panabaker in it, and then one of the guys from Supernatural, the longer hair. I never really got into Supernatural. I tried, but and it's like it's weird because like I'm into that stuff, but like I don't know, something for some reason I couldn't get into it. But the longer haired one, he was also in that movie. Might just because he was in the movie, I don't know, but like I personally like that version of it. It was good, but
mine is I just like Jason Takes Manhattan because it's so cheesy.
Yeah, there's got humor to it. There always needs to be some humor to like horror movies, I feel.
Oh, I know. I always like when they try to take it too seriously, and then it's not. It's very cheesy. Actually, the one I watched the other day, Tourist Trap. Oh my goodness, very very cheesy horror movie. You ever see that?
No, I've never seen that.
Oh my, it's with these couples and this guy. He goes after the people in the group, and then he makes them like mannequins, and then they're like frozen, and it's just
there's one like super tacky horror movie that like I love, The Terrifier.
Yes.
I love that movie.
Diane Franklin's in that movie. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great movie. I love that one. And then Society, if you've ever heard of that, that's a really cheesy one too.
I've never heard of that one either.
Oh my goodness. It was released in London, and then it was released over here, and at first it got bad reviews, but now it's kind of like a cheesy classic.
Mm-hmm. There was one tacky horror movie I was just thinking of, but stoner brain. Literally, I was my thought. It'll come back to me eventually.
There's that one, and then, oh man, I'm trying to think of the like Brain Dead, like the zombie movie. That's really.
Oh, I was saying it wasn't not a cheesy movie, but my favorite, one of my favorite horror movies is Cabin in the Woods. Did you ever see that?
Yeah.
That one's a really good movie. Like I really like the ending part, and it's like because like I said, Mike, I always make dark, morbid jokes. You know how like the end of that movie is like they collected people who like fit people they were looking for. You know how they were looking for the virgin, the scholar. Yeah. I'm like I like kind of how their thought process was to collect them all and basically just blow up the world and start all over. Because in my personal opinion, I think that would happen.
Yeah, that's
because like we're so far gone into like just the loss of humanity that there's no other way to fix it other than to blow the world up and start all over. Just personal opinion.
A do-over. So there's that. Sleepwalkers. I've watched that before.
I've heard of that one. There's a lot of horror movies I haven't watched, but there's quite a few I have seen. Even the stupid ones. Did you ever see, I can't remember what the hell the name of the movie is, but it was about this tire that would roll around this town and would kill people.
Rubber City or something, or
it was like Robert or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Rubber, I can't remember. Like it was a tire, and literally would go around and kill people. and animals and shit, like in the desert. I'm like, what kind of movie is this? Like, me and my best friend watched it, and I'm like, literally, this is almost an hour and a half, 2 hours of my time I will never be able to take back.
They, when I went to a convention, they actually had a tire from the movie.
That's funny.
Like hood up, and I was like, "Can you sign this thing?" Just rub the tire.
That's so funny.
It was really cheesy. I watched it and laughed my ass off at how ridiculous it was. But there's that. My favorite is Carrie. Carrie's always one of my favorite.
I like Carrie.
I enjoy Sissy Spacek as Carrie, and I even enjoy William Catt in that role because he's kind of a nice guy, but you know he kind of gets his demise.
Yeah.
But it's a good one. And I love Idle Hands. You've probably seen Idle Hands.
I've heard of it before. It's like
Okay.
a lot of horror movies I've heard of, but just never watched them.
Yeah, it's got Devon Sawa in it, and
Okay.
the kid from Mighty Ducks, and
I haven't seen that movie in forever.
Yeah, I think his name is like Eldon Henson, and he was also in Daredevil.
Okay, I've seen Daredevil before.
Yeah, so he was in there, and actually, Seth Green was in it too.
Okay.
So it's good. It's very cheesy. It's about trying to keep the devil's hand busy so it doesn't commit any evil. So he tries like knitting, and then it becomes evil, and
yeah,
it's a very cheesy movie. So I'd recommend that. But yeah, is there anything else you would like to say or promote here on Dan-A-Plooza?
not at the moment.
Not at the moment. Okay. Well, then I'm going to go ahead and let you go. I want to thank you for being a guest on Dan-A-Plooza, and I will see everybody in 2 weeks from now where we'll have our other guests. So have a good night.
You too. Thank you.
And